Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 425. Today what I'm going to do is show you how to get at the Adductor Magnus in 3 different ways. It's the muscle that I believe is one of the most limiting muscles when performing squatting activities. So first off, before we do anything, let's talk about a little bit of anatomy. This always helps people kind of visualize where they're going to be doing some mobilizing and whatnot from there. So remember, the Adductor Magnus is a big tissue on the inside of your thigh. That's why I have this weird camera angle going on right now, because I want you to be able to see it. So, if this was my pelvis, and this is the left side of my butt bone here, okay, that's going to correspond with the butt bone that I'm sitting on right here on this hard surface. So my landmarks, when I talk about the butt bone and the sit bone, we're talking about this area right here. It's one that's easily found by most of you guys out there. You shouldn't have any trouble doing that. Now, what happens is that Adductor Magnus has a semi-linear attachment, meaning that it kind of conforms to this kind of weird ridge here on my butt bone, and it takes up a good amount of space there. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to scrape along that area and get down into that tissue as well. However, what it also does is it then connects down into the femur. Okay, so it starts here and then kind of fans its way down in the femur, probably down to about mid-thigh. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time all up there in the grundle and leg region. So first off, we're going to start out with the kettlebell. This is one that everyone should be able to do because everyone pretty much has a kettlebell in their gyms, whether it's functional fitness gym or CrossFit gym, doesn't necessarily matter. So what I'm going to do here is notice how I'm kind of sitting off this. This could be replicated by a box or anything else. But what I did is I laid the kettlebell down, and I'm going to hold on to the horns, because what I don't want it doing is flipping and moving all over the place. So I hold on to the horns of the kettlebell, and what I do is everything right here we're going to demonstrate is going to be on the left Adductor Magnus today, okay? So I'm kind of holding down the horns of the kettlebell, and what I'm going to do is I'm starting on that butt bone that I just talked about, and I'm going to slide backwards, which is going to bring the kettlebell distal or down towards the knee, okay? And as I do that, I'm going to fall off into a soft spot. When I do that, when I fall off into that soft spot, coming down closer to my knee, I'm just going to allow my thigh to smear towards the inside. So the bell is going to move towards the inside, more towards my crotch, right? And I'm going to find that I get into an area that's generally pretty sensitive. And that's the area that we're going to hang out at, okay? Now, the first way that we're going to get at this Adductor Magnus is we're just going to hold sustained pressure on it for a 30-second count, okay? We're going to do this, and we're going to get off, and we're going to switch sides, and we're going to hit this 3 times. So it's a minute and a half total, 30 seconds of constant pressure. That's our first mechanism at getting at this, okay? Our second one is we're going to take a 2-ball roller, okay? Same idea, except now we're going to start adding some movement. So again, my reference point is that butt bone that I pointed out in the beginning of the episode here. But I get on that butt bone, I just move distal. So I move my butt backwards. That moves the ball or the 2-ball roller towards my knee some. So right there, as soon as I fall off into that soft spot, I'm going to be hitting that Adductor Magnus pretty well. I'm going to take that same kettlebell, which I just used a second ago, and I'm going to bring it all the way up into my crotch area, up into the hip, so that way that pressure is added downwards, okay? Now, this isn't a must. If you have a sufficient amount of body weight and it's to make it tender, or it's past your tolerance, obviously don't add this bell. But if it isn't, this bell works great to be able to pinch the thigh down onto and pinch the thigh down onto the mobility device as well. From right there, all we're going to do here is we're going to drive our knee in as we turn away, kind of like, so my hips are going to come down, and I'm going to drive my knee this way, okay? And that's really going to allow that inside ball, or the 2-ball roller, to kind of really encompass onto that adductor region, and you're going to get some good tissue shear, some good tension going on right here, okay? So you got the bell pushing down, and all you're doing is twisting and driving in towards your knee. So basically, towards the inside. So we're driving down and in, down and in. For this one, what we're going to do is we're going to try to attempt to get 20 repetitions on each side. Hit this sucker twice. So it's 40 repetitions per side. Now, The third and final one is using a device that not every single gym has, but a lot of them do. It's just a stick. Now, with the stick, what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to be on the box, and I'm going to use the edge of the box as a fulcrum to kind of push up. See how I can push up, and that's going to push the top of the stick into the tissue. So, here's how it goes. I go ahead, and I keep the handle of the stick towards the outside of the box. The vast majority of the stick is hanging off the box. So, using that fulcrum, I'm going to replace my hand, right, that I was just holding that, with where my butt bone is. Again, I find that same anatomy. I go off my butt bone, and then I just move just distal, right, so just down towards the knee, and now I can use this mobility device. All I gotta do now is as I use a stick, I'm gonna go ahead and push down and pry over. Push down and pry over. Push down and pry over. As you do that, as you push down and pry over, the handle is going to come up into that adductor region, and you're going to be able to get some good tissue shear on the way over. What we're going to try to do here is do clockwise circles and counterclockwise circles. We're going to collect 20 of them per side. Again, hit this for 2 repetitions. So that's 40 repetitions. 20 clockwise, 20 counterclockwise. So that's 2 sets of 40 repetitions, 80 total per side. And that is the 3 ways in which we can hit the adductor magnus. Obviously, for this one, I said the limiting, or it's a big limiter for squatting. So our test retest is going to be that squat position. Guys, I hope this helps you out. And until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.